Right.
All right.
We're here.
Here.
Hey, baby Q. Hi, baby Q.
Say hello. We're here, Taylor Moon.
And mizChartreuse.
Talking about all the planetary energies for this week.
Yes.
Chat.
We are filming this on Thursday, January 9th, and it is the day before the epic eclipse.
Yep. The lunar eclipse in Cancer is tomorrow. And we also had Mars. Mars went into Sagittarius. What was that, a few days ago?
Yeah, just a few days ago.
Yeah. If you hear banging music, it's just this guy.
We got the kitty sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning that you feel like you can feel Mars and Sagittarius energy. Like what do you think is like what's been manifesting in your life from Mars being in Sagittarius?
Yeah, Mars in Sagittarius right now looks like so Mars is that direct action, Sagittarius is aiming high, expansion, fire, really about just using that power. And what I've seen is that like during Mars and Scorpio, it was really imperative for me to go within, go into the depths, make that inner solid connection with myself. And after doing that deep dive, like it's almost immediately now that it's in Sagittarius, I feel just very compelled to take action, to ask for what I want, to very clearly declare what it is that I'm up to in the world, what I'm creating, inviting other people to share and contribute and collaborate. And not so much of the, wishy-washy, like, I'm thinking about this, but more like, this is what we can do. Let's create this.
Yeah, that resonates with me too. Like definitely the, I think too, like when it was in Scorpio, I was the same way, very internal, very, I feel like when Mars was in Scorpio, a lot of my ideas, so Scorpio's in my 5th house, so it's my 5th house of creativity. Yeah, so it was a lot of like my creative ideas and everything. I got like a little more clear about what I want to do and like what I'm passionate about regarding like my creativity. And then like you, like now that Mars is in Sagittarius, I have this like big energy of wanting to collab with people. Hello.
Yes.
Just like put myself out there and also like learn, like just learn. Like I think I wrote a Facebook post the other day that said like, all I want to do this year is like read and like study. And like, I just want to like obtain more knowledge about the things I'm into, astrology, finance. Yeah. Just like so many different areas. Like I told my friend, I wish I had like 4 heads so I could read like 5 different subjects at one time, but
yes,
I definitely feeling that too.
Yeah, I got that.
And you said too, like that Sagittarian wishy-washy, that mutable wishy-washiness, but it's like I don't really feel that either, but this time it's like more of a, instead of it being wishy-washy all over the place like it may have been in other times in my life, it feels more like I can do anything. Like I can collaborate with anyone. I can, like there's so many subjects that I'm able to have a voice in.
Yes.
And so it's like kind of like a positive mutable energy. When before it was more scattered brained, and now it's kind of like I see my magic in all these areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel very well equipped and prepared to take on my life. So like Taylor and I are both students at Landmark, and we're in this seminar called An Invented Life, and I literally am seeing my life just being invented and created with word. And there's this really intense training program called the Introduction Leaders Program. And it is like the fast track to empowering us to have enrollment conversations with the world and just be able to create with word, right? And it's really intense. It's 7 months. It calls you to clean up and restore integrity in all areas of your life. In order to be a leader, you have to have a solid base of integrity. And everybody there has been wanting me to be in this program. And I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not ready. Leave me alone. I don't want to commit to anything for 7 months in my life. I'm like, I've actually never been committed to anything in my life, like even when I was married. Okay. So I realized that it was really just me running again from myself. I'm like, you know what? I can take my life on. And like there's so many structures in place for us to do it powerfully. So it's like we have weekly calls. They set it up where we have small groups. Like the program doesn't start till spring. And so we have all these structures in place now to clean up things and take action on things that we want to do in life. And there's so much support that it's like, okay, well, I don't have to take it on alone. Like I'm doing it for myself and for my leadership. But when we have structures for fulfillment, then that just really makes everything possible and very easy and doable. It's like, you know where you're going, and then you just backtrack and make all the steps. And so I'm really feeling all of this even on my natal Mars, which is in Capricorn at 22 degrees, which is the exact degree of this.
No, it is exact. That's right. Yeah. That's great.
And I was just tweeting today. I was like, I actually don't feel like a weird, overwhelmed crunch. I really feel like just capable and able to do it. Yeah.
I think a lot of us with like Capricorn and Cancer placements are feeling stuff. Because like my sister has a Capricorn moon. She's like, I'm emotional. Capricorn moon, Cancer rising. But I think it just depends on like where you are in your life, like what it is that you need to have a breakthrough with, you know? So it depends on how you're approaching this energy. So going back to what you said about like the leadership group or whatever, I think it's so true. Like Mars and Sagittarius also lets you know, like you have this support group, right? Because like Sagittarius, like Sagittarians, I feel like are amazing at just like having hella friends, like flock to them, like hella friends. And like I just feel like with Mars and Sagittarius, it's just kind of like who's on my team, like who's for me, like I said, like I feel like I could do anything now. Who are the people that I can like link up with or are here to support me?
Exactly. And there's a plethora of people, and like, you know, it's like I'm actually looking at my life and seeing that everybody in my world is for me in some way, you know. I'm just like, wow, okay, I'm really not alone in any capacity. It feels really good, and it's really empowering. And then it enables people like us to provide the services that we do and write and share, and, you know, also be the transmitters of what we're taking on and learning and discovering for ourselves.
I think too, for Mars and Sagittarius for me, so it's in my 6th house, and like on top of my Uranus, which squares my like everything, my 10th house stellium.
Okay.
So what that means is, because actually I got feedback, like we're astrologers, so we just talk about stuff, but like people are watching like, what? What that means is in my 10th house, like I think a lot about like my career, like my purpose, and like what I want to do in life, and like how I want to put myself out there. And I'm relating that Mars and Sagittarius to like what I need to do on a day-to-day basis to get myself there. I think in the past I've just, I don't know, I can get a little mutable energy Pisces, where it's like, you know, I'll jump on it sometimes, and then I'll be like, well, I don't feel like it today, blah, 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 blah. But like with this Mars and Sagittarius energy, I've been really trying to work out a schedule for myself, especially with Quest. I'm realizing that not only am I most productive in the morning, he's sleep. So I've been actually trying to like wake up early as shit. Like I've tried to aim for 5, but there's been a couple times where I've waken up at 3 in the morning. Like maybe I just fed him or whatever, and then I'm just kind of awake, sleeping, and I'm like, well, let me get up and like go do some stuff just for me. Like that's when I'll like journal and like you know, meditate, pray, and then like start working on stuff for my business, do a little writing, and like that's something I really want to implement in my life. And I'm trying to work on a schedule for him too. I mean, he's getting there. It's coming, but like kind of knowing like this is around the time he's gonna sleep, eat, etc. So I can build in my time
Yes.
in there too. So I think that's like that Mars and Sagittarius energy for me, hardcore. It's in my sixth house.
Yes, in the sixth house. Perfect.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
For me, it's in my Sagittarius is in my fifth house.
Yes.
And the eclipse and all of that is taking place in my sixth house of work in the daily routine.
Nice.
Similar to you, my mornings are the best time of day. You know, I am just like excited to wake up and meditate and like go inside and just be in that internal soul space and go to connect with myself. And that's when all of the flashes of insight of what it is I'm going to do today is. And also like you living in a schedule. So I have all my calls planned out. I have everything, my, you know, consulting calendars open for certain times.
You've been awesome with that, actually. Like even like you've been like, so are we gonna call it 2:30? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot. I knew we were gonna call, but I've been So I really appreciate you like being on it like that because that helps me a lot.
Yes. And then really quickly too, it's like when I know that I might be like 15 minutes late or I have to move it back an hour just to be in communication as soon as I know that I can't do it. And then, you know, just stay in communication as we work it out. But I like when I'm living to my calendar, I am at the cause of how my life and my day goes rather than just being like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm at the mercy and at the effect and some shit might happen. It's like, no, I'm ordering my day. And I am at cause of where I'm at and what I'm doing in every moment. And
exactly. Yeah.
It's good to live like that.
It is like a beautiful thing. And it's like, especially when your time is limited, like what I'm finding with now having a baby, you know, whatever your baby is, it's like when your time is limited, you know, you really have to be accountable for like what you do when you do have a little time.
Yeah.
You know, and that means, you know, maybe not scrolling for hours on social media or you know, whatever it is. Especially when you have goals to reach. So
yes. And for me it's like tricky because 11's kindergarten is only like 2.5 hours. It's from like the bus gets her at 12:50 and then she gets off the bus at 3:50 and I'm just like, what the hell is this little 2 dinky hours of time? But I can actually do a lot of hours. You know, if I so choose and I just have it all laid out properly. So work with what I got and just have everything flow around that.
But I think like we were saying, like scheduling though, it's like amazing how productive you can be in that little 2.5 hours if you like know, you know, you schedule it properly and plan for that time. No, I'm excited.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this great grand conjunction that we got going on?
So I think it's going to hit people differently. I've been trying to like feel what's going on. I definitely feel it on like a more collective, bigger scale. Like obviously like we're literally on the brink of war. There's obviously some major like power restructuring and like America's like being hijacked right now by like people.
Massive amygdala hijack.
Yeah, exactly. It's being like majorly hijacked, and like I think the American people are still kind of asleep. Like we're like, oh, like this is happening. It really sucks, and like we're like pointing fingers at each other, like you suck for voting for him.
Right.
Yeah, but like we have no fucking idea like how real this is about to get.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that's like not gonna happen tomorrow, but I think it's gonna be like the beginning, the catalyst for some like serious stuff going down. Next, you know, so many years. And I think there's gonna be a lot of things that happen this year that blow our minds, as far as like just being Americans and like seeing how our democracy is being obliterated, basically.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It makes sense in terms of like the Pluto, United States Pluto return. And I forget how many years it takes Pluto to make a full circle, like 245 years or something.
Yeah, like 248 or something. Yeah, close,
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, well, the structure of America, if it just has to crumble, then that's okay. And I think for me, like, especially even just as a Black woman, or an African woman, a child of immigrants.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, well, I mean, our lives as, you know, our lives as Black people in America, we're like used to, I don't want to say like we're used to like chaos or whatever, but it's like we've had a particular lens on, you know, what life is and what it looks like, and we have this ability to kind of transcend and be with, you know, the calm in the midst of chaos and the storm, and just really be powerful in the midst of it.
Definitely.
And I legitimately feel, again, like completely protected, completely capable, completely empowered to take on whatever it is that life on the outside is, you know, showing me. And it's also empowering me to actually like use my voice and to really tap in and tune into my gifts and make an impact on my sphere of influence with what I have right now. So whether that is people running for office, or, you know, just even taking action and using our self-expression to better the world and impact people in our lives, like that's what it's all about. So
I think so. Like, I mean, the simple term for Saturn Pluto is like the restructuring of power.
Yes.
So I think it's funny you bring up even how you feel as a Black woman, because I feel like I say I feel a lot. It's always water in my chart.
Me too.
But I feel like Black people too, where there is this overall like empowerment, like it's like a return to self almost. Just realizing, I think there's just been a lot of like, what? Like noticing how our culture has been appropriated, how, you know, people, like I think I was having a conversation the other day about when I was younger, we were told like when we're applying for a job, you know, we have to dress very professionally because you won't be taken serious. But now I see like white people dressing like Black people, like hip hop, like, you know, a lot of like, you know, black tee, like the Gary V's and all of them are all like wearing like black tees and like sneakers and like, you know,
pants. You know, we're the OG ultimate culture makers of this country.
And I think we're really starting to see like, oh, we're like the curators of cool. Like,
we are.
We're dope. And like, we're very talented and we are more than what we've been told. And it's time for us to like restructure and like find, like get our power back. And like, just be more in tune with who we are and like where we're going. I think that's why we're having the conversation about reparations coming up again. And like, it's just like, hey, you know, we toiled this land. There's been a lot that we've contributed, and like, why are we so far behind? Like, you know, why aren't we awarded the same privileges? You know?
And shout out to Marianne Williamson for being the first person to speak on reparations back in the 90s. I must say, she's not like new to this whole realm and conversation in her run for the presidency. So I really appreciate her just being on the cutting edge of saying, well, you know, we have to atone and you know, it's again about restoring integrity. So if you want to be great, you have to restore integrity and be whole and complete and come from that space. This is something that is true for all of us on the individual level and on a country level as well. It's real.
So I think there's this like, you know, just a mass restructuring going on of power, a redistribution. I think Scorpio season, I think Jupiter and Scorpio, I think a lot of the transits that passed over the last few years really blew the cover off a lot of things that were hidden and secret and being pushed under the rug. And so I think the fight is just beginning. The awareness is there, but I feel like the Saturn Pluto conjunction is really like the beginning of like, all right, like what is this gonna be? Like, put your money where your mouth is, like walk the talk. You know, so we'll see. On a personal level, it's been great.
I love to hear it.
Yeah, I think I wrote on Twitter or something that like I love Saturn and Pluto. Like everyone's so scared of them, but like I love them. Like they don't feel good per se when they're in the transits. Like, but I think they can be hugely transformational for your life. You know, it's like, especially when you really get in alignment and you're able to get into a flow, which I finally feel like I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you have setbacks or things happen, you can go like, okay, like, all right, that wasn't meant to be, or that hurt, ouch, but lesson, I see the lesson in this. Thank you, Saturn, or whatever.
Yes. Letting what is be. Whatever it is, just letting it be. And I love that conversation we were having yesterday about observing the ego, that voice that's would have us be like, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, no, they don't really love me. No, they're just saying that. They're just, tolerating. They don't really love me. And then I'm like looking at that thought. I was like, bitch, what the hell is actually really wrong with you? Like, excuse me. But then I let it be, and I'm like, that's just, it's okay, it's cute, it's whatever, letting it be. Like Jimmy V said last night, he was like, just kiss the it on the mouth and kiss the monster on the mouth and let it be. And remember the truth of who you are, that is love, and it's everywhere, and it's abundant.
Yeah, and I think even going with that Saturn Pluto like restructuring of power, I think in a personal way, we're restructuring our own power. Like we were saying in the landmark form, identifying your it versus itself, the thing that stops you from being authentically you. That's a restructuring of your self-empowerment. Like, like identifying the things that stop you from being your most powerful self. So there's no accident that we're in this course right now. And I think for other people, it'll show up in different ways for them too.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
I think, like, one of my sisters, she's getting a new job, and she'll be starting soon, and she's like nervous about it because it's different. It's something new. It's unfamiliar. But she's really stepping out and doing something for herself and like leveling up. So that's
how old is she?
She is 44.
Ooh, yes, Uranus opposition time.
Yeah. So she's 44. My younger sister is, working on some things too and working on her health, and so I think like different things are showing up for people, but it's just like very, hey, it's time to. It's like Saturn knocking on the door saying, okay, it's time.
Yep.
You've been bullshitting. It's time. Like, let's make this happen.
Yeah. And Pluto, because it's that planet that's so far out, it's like forces beyond our control that it occurs as. And while there's nothing really beyond our control when we are at source of our lives, the value of that Plutonian energy is that it comes along and is like, beep, 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 we're going to disrupt your habitual patterns of existing and knock that shit down. So again, with the restructuring, like we just have these patterns, and the beautiful thing about pattern recognition is through recognizing and acknowledging them, then we can disrupt them and invent ourselves and take action aligned with who we really say we are in any moment. And that's that realm of transformation, is like being that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love Pluto. I know people, that is like the horror planet to everybody, but and it's probably me having an 8th house sun square Pluto, but it's like, I've gone through stuff in my life, but it's like I'm on the other side of it, at least at this phase. I'm sure, stuff will keep happening because 8th house. But it's just like I see the beauty in Pluto and how like, it could just like completely change your life and just, just really like gets into your darkness and like gets you closer to who you're meant to be,
So can you give me an illustrative example of one way that looks like in your life?
I think for me, oh God, like I've dealt with everything. I've been depressed for years. you know, my father walking out of my life, you know, when I was like 13, that blew me. Deaths in my family, you know, my favorite uncle passing away, like almost my entire family. Like a lot of people passed away in like maybe a 10-year span.
Gosh, wow.
Witnessing violence in my family when I was younger. Just like these different experiences that I've had. And that's kind of like that Plutonian darkness, I think, a little bit. But it's also made me extremely empathetic, compassionate.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to like think even more about. It's all like I said, I'm so intuitive. Where it's just like, oh, it's just a feeling, you know what I mean? But like sometimes when I think about things that I've experienced and like where I am now, I just don't think I would be who I am without those Plutonian experiences.
Totally, exactly.
Yeah.
So having said that, then where is one place in your life lately that you've seen that Plutonic transformation occur, like in an area of life or in a relationship with somebody lately?
I think what I see now, because I feel like I'm like on a upside of life right now, at least, that I kind of see that because I went through that like dark night of the soul, dark period, you know, depression, XYZ. It's like now one of my greatest areas of power. So Pluto's in my 5th house, the creativity, you know, my creativity, my self-expression. I think because I've gone through those things, I am able to create from that place. I'm able to understand and be compassionate towards others from that place. I'm passionate about serving others and helping them through their Plutonian.
So tell me about like a particular relationship or a particular breakthrough or something that occurred recently that like really illustrated and demonstrated this transformative breakthrough.
Yes, my relationship with my mom. She'll probably watch this too, but like I think she and I for a while were just not. We just weren't. I don't know. Like I wouldn't go as far as say we were estranged, but like it was rough. Like we just were not seeing eye to eye. And I kind of like not written her off. She's my mom. I would always love her, but it's just like to protect myself. I kind of got away from her, and
it was like the tolerating or the surviving.
Yeah, and it's like our relationship has been completely reborn. I mean, I'm so proud of the work that she's done in her own life, but it also took for me to be a compassionate person and understand like everyone has their shit.
Yeah.
Even our moms and dads.
Yeah. Did you have like a conversation with her? Was there like a certain moment? Like
not it's probably moments, but I think especially once I became like I got pregnant and then once Quest was born, it's like she just really has been showing up for me. And I think we've been able to just share authentically.
Yeah.
Between each other. I actually talked to her. She did the Landmark Forum this past.
Oh my God, yes, that's right.
Yeah. So it's like she's just. It's interesting too because her Chiron, which is the wounded healer, is exact my sun.
Ooh, yeah.
Same degree. Yeah. Wow. So, you know, I think in a way, like our relationship is supposed to be very healing for her. And it needed to have the Plutonian shit.
Yes.
Kind of. It just needed to go through that. I don't know. I have to think about it to be a little more eloquent, but.
No, you said it perfectly. And I totally get it. And it makes sense that like, I have my Mama Power shirt on today that like even through us becoming mothers ourselves, that really helps us heal the mother wound in like both directions.
Yeah, it does.
Birth to ourselves in another form. We're also allowing our mothers to show up for us in new motherly ways.
Absolutely.
Beautiful power of like watching a grandma. Like I think
Yeah.
something shifts in women when they go from parent to grandmother.
It's beautiful. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I totally love that, and I resonate with that quest.
Yeah.
Grandma's awesome.
That's something to say. Yeah. So it's been great, you know, and I'm actually gonna have a conversation with her today. So by the time she watches it, just to say like thank you and like
Yes.
that I'm just happy about where we are and
Yes.
thank you for showing up for me. And
Yes.
you know, I had got it in my head like you know, like our relationship is what it is. Like I don't even really need a mom. I'm 35. Like
Right. No, we need moms like, forever.
Yeah, I'm grown. You know, it's cool if she doesn't. Blah blah blah. But then it's like now that she's been showing up, I'm like, wow, this is what I always needed. Like I like this.
Totally. My mom literally called me on Sunday and she's like, Shar, I just hope you know, like, I'm here for you. Like, I can help support you through this next chapter and, you know, talking to the universities and doing all these things. And she's like, I just want to know, like, is this something that you want? Like, do you want my help? Do you want my assistance? Because in the past I would resist. And I was like, Mom, like, when I distinguished that my fundamental point of view is I'm unworthy and the world is unsupportive. I got that in the communications course. That's what I was always resisting because that was my view. But getting out of that point of view, and again,
what's your point of view? I missed that. What'd you say?
The point of view is it's a distinction, kind of like how in the forum when you discover like the something's wrong here, I don't belong, these like fundamental genesis of identity events that happen that shape the way that we create our lives. On the communication course, we discover that we're always communicating from a certain point of view, which is disempowering and has as a victim of the world, and that's the context for all our relationships. And then when we get that clear, we can see that it's not true, we shift that, and then the people in our world start creating us as the truth we are. And it's more like we're speaking our lives rather than being at the mercy and protecting and surviving these relationships. And my mom was one of them. I would not be open to receive from her. I couldn't receive from anybody. And now she's just like, Shar, I'm here to support you. Like, can we do this? And I was like, yes, Mom, this is what I always wanted. It's so, it feels so nice to be able to
great,
be
right?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Forward.
Yeah, I had to do a change of scenery. I had to change diapers.
Changing the scenery. Got some lighting as the sun goes down. But yeah, I'm feeling really, just empowered. And again, I'm like so aware of my feeling statements. And it's cool, I guess. I'm used to it. But I think that everything just depends on our mindsets and how we approach the transits. And if we lay the foundation for our lives and really structure ourselves for freedom, then it doesn't matter what is occurring outside, and we can actually be at cause in our realities and every action that we can take.
I agree. You know, and I'm always big about, there are some people that really watch the transits and like are like extra predict. Sometimes I don't look until after, just so I can like kind of feel it out organically and just like see what it does in my life. Because I really believe that like timing is everything, and I'm just at a place in my life where I've done a lot of the work that I needed to do over the last few years. So like the transits that are taking place right now are really working in my favor. But you know, anyone that because there are people that I've noticed that are dealing with, there's been a lot of deaths I've noticed with people in the last few months. There's been a lot of deaths. There's been a lot of other issues, a lot of breakups, you know, and if you're a person that feels like, wow, like, okay, that's great that she's having a good time or they're having a great time with their, with the transits right now, but like my life sucks. It's just necessary for your growth, you know, and like death sucks. I'm not saying like that person needed to pass away for you to grow. Of course, that's not, but like that thing that was probably inevitable in your life is going to have an effect on you going forward.
Yeah. And really, like, when we can have a fresh perspective on death and what life is and what it means. Like, I was actually having a conversation with my sister-in-law this morning that my father's death was one of the best occurrences that has happened in my life. I'm
Yeah.
really grateful for it. I actually just buried another friend, Renee. She was only 45 and she passed away from colon cancer after like a 1.5-year battle. And it's crazy because it's like the first person in my age group and my peers that has passed away. It's Monique's best friend, actually.
Yeah.
And but just, you know, laying her to rest and like knowing her spirit is free, like, again, everything in our lives is all about our perspectives. So I can sit here and say how amazing I'm experiencing life, but that's because I'm like sourcing it and I'm causing it. It doesn't mean that shit's not happening. My dad just died, like, just buried my friend. But when we can see with the higher perspective, we know that death is but a transition into another phase. We know that we're not our bodies and we're not just our minds, but we are spirit. That's the truth of who we are. Then when the body and the mind cease to be useful for this plane and communication, you transcend. And, you know, it's just, it is part of what we're all experiencing, and we don't really actually die. And again, even if it's, you know, stuff is coming up, it's really just about your viewpoint, your perspective, what you're making what happens mean. You're giving all of the meaning, and just remembering like who we are and seeing past the illusions and not getting completely caught up in the outside world, but really just, you know, being at cause, being creators of everything.
And thank you for sharing that, because I think that'll be really helpful for people that are experiencing, you know, tragedy right now. It's, you know, death and hard times. It's just not easy. Like, I think sometimes in the spiritual world, we can get all woo-woo, and it's like, yeah, woo-woo sounds nice until you're actually like dealing with, you know, someone that passes away and everything. But I think your perspective will help people see how it can really be meaningful for your life and be part of your growing process.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm really here for in terms of even the services that I offer with the relationship transformation sessions. I am a complete stand that you can transform any relationship dynamic from pain to peace, and I can guide you through that. And we can use your chart as tools to empower you through that, and really just to be, again, empowered in your own life. So if you are going through anything, I am absolutely, you know, I'm in there with you. So this is what my life is for supporting others through that and just creating content and reminding us all of the truth of who we are. And
definitely. Yeah, I love it. And you definitely want to reach out to her if that's the case, because Char has like completely just changed. I mean, like, I can tell there's been such a huge shift in you since, you know, having to experience the death of your dad. You know, that's huge. She's just really great and insightful.
I feel like this was a great circle for today. Maybe just remind people where they can keep up with you and your new book. And
so all over social media as Astral Taylor Moon, and you can go to taylormoonastrology.com to read, you know, more about me, blogs. If you want to book a reading with me, that'd be great. I would love to dive into your chart more and just like help you identify those areas where you hold power and
pick up her new book called Aquarius. It's in stores at Barnes and Noble.
And there at Barnes and Noble right now. Will be released on Amazon February 4th. So
awesome. Yes. And my website is thevenusacademy.com, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter at mizChartreuse and at the Venus Academy for Instagram as well.
Awesome. It's so good talking to you, Char. Always a pleasure.
You too.
I'll talk to you next week then.
Yep. We'll keep the Aquemini miracles swirling.
Yes. All right. Love you too.
All right.